Crip Camp is about an experimental sort of hippie summer camp for disabled kids in the early 70s.
Most people, including myself, don't know this history, didn't learn it in school. You know, we just sort of go around taking curb cuts for granted, ramps for granted. Folks with disabilities had to fight to make any of that happen.
I wanted to be part of the world, but I didn't see anyone like me in it. I hear about a summer camp for the handicapped run by hippies, and I'm like, sign me up.
So it's a mostly archival film. The first 40 minutes of the film is that archival footage. And then we follow the kids from the camp through the next 2 decades, through the disability rights movement, and sort of finding the voice of the film and like who was really telling the story. That was a challenge. As an editor, you are the translator of the material to the audience. And so it's really important on projects dealing with really diverse stories from different communities and different countries. We need diverse voices in the editing room. Working in Premiere for me is great because it's really intuitive to me. We would split up different parts of the film, and I would work on a certain part and Mary would work on another part, and then we would send projects back and forth, and it worked like pretty seamlessly, and that was really good for our project.
We also wanted to do something unique and different with subtitling. We used master style in Adobe Premiere to apply like our final design for the subtitles to all of the titles that had been previously created in the timeline, and then brought them in sections into Adobe After Effects. When we were like getting things prepped to online, I was photoshopping out specks of dust in a lot of the archival photos, and I could just do that in Photoshop and then click over to Premiere and like magically see the dust disappear, which is like, for me as a person who likes details, was really lovely. So I love being able to use all of the programs in dialogue with each other.
We found out the film was accepted into Sundance, and it was just like so exciting. And then we found out that we were opening night.
That being in Sundance and being opening night would mean that this story would get seen and heard by so many more people.
I think there's just been a lot of change and movement in terms of just the word diversity and inclusion in storytelling, and including people with disabilities in that word is really important.
You wouldn't be picked to be on a team back home, but at Jeanette, you had to go up to bat.
What we saw at that camp was that our lives could be better.
I think a lot of us who don't identify as having a disability go through the world thinking that we're like separate from people with disabilities, but really it's like we're all connected. I really hope that that's sparked in part by this film.